Hello and welcome to one more episode of Free Thoughts. Today I want to share with you a very interesting idea about the time that is needed to create a habit and the phases that people can pass when creating a habit. This phase of when and where it seems impossible for the habit to be created. Not necessarily in the act of when the person is going to do it, but actually in the perception of the habit in general. For example, my God, I am on the gym for like a month and it's still not automatic. It is still very painful. And there's lots of adjustments that we can make there to see if that habit is more enjoyable and pleasurable for you or for the person. But it's very interesting to note that there is not a specific number that you can say that that number is the number of days you need to create a habit. For example, 30. You need 30 days to create the habit of going to the gym, of doing exercise. That's a lie. Because we don't have a specific number for the whole package of habits. For example, drinking water, going to the gym, studying, playing guitar. We don't have like 30 days, you will have that as a habit. That's all. That is not true as far as I know. Because it depends on the habit and on the person, on the rapport, on the motivation, on why the person is doing, etc., etc., etc. If he's aligned with his or her identity, with his or herself. So this is very interesting to note because I believe it was on the meta-analysis. I can see and look for you if you want to know. That said that a habit could take somewhat in between 66 days up to 254 days to be created. What is very interesting because it can take almost a goddamn year to create a habit. Think on that. Almost a year. So that's very nice too in some perspective that some habits can take up almost 1 year to be created, because when you are playing to create the habit, to solidify the habit, then you are very well positioned to create the habit long term, because you know it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, I won't be like an automated machine to do exercise every day in the first month or 2 months. I know it's going to take some time, and so you dip a little bit more deeply and you see that you have time to create a habit. It's not a rush, and you become more smart with your decisions, probably. But I want to add this idea that somebody that is vague, that says, I'm going to do that habit, and he doesn't know when, how specifically, he only says next month, next week, next Monday, but he doesn't know if it's in the morning, late at night, before work, after work, at 5 p.m., at 11 a.m. That person has less chances than a person that has a plan of how to create a habit. Okay, so strategically, I'm going to do this habit right here because it's when I have more free time. I'm going to prepare with some clothing. I bought my clothing, I bought my shoes, I have everything prepared. I'm going to prepare what I need for the habit in the day previous. Maybe I'm starting today, and just to be more calm and free, I'm only expecting to have this habit created by the end of the year. That's amazing, and just some general details that you can use to increase the chances of you creating a habit. Because you don't have a plan, you have a lot more ahead than somebody who doesn't have a plan, and that's very interesting because you don't create a habit suddenly in 30 days or 60 days. You can create a habit in 60 days, I believe, if it's something like you drinking water regularly without thinking. Then I believe you can create in 60 days, because depending on the habit that you want to create, it can take more or less time. For example, what do you think? It takes more time to drink water regularly during the day, or it takes more time to create the habit of doing exercise every single day? You have an answer, right? Drinking water will take less time. Doing exercise will take a lot more time to develop the habit. So yeah, have that on mind. Depending on the habit, you can take more or less time. But if you are talking about hard stuff, man, I recommend people to add more days than they expected to have that habit solidified. Okay, and making it regularly, making it easy to know that you have to do it, making it small, and all those things that I'm going to talk and that I will have on my course on how to create a habit. I want to give good free content here, and maybe if maybe you don't even need to buy the course, but I want to make this my job, being an educational person that shares ideas and scientific knowledge. And I will give the course as a bonus and more specialized and direct knowledge and content, and with some more bonus of courses for those who support me. But the free content will be good as well. One thing more to add, what it is, yeah, add more time than you expect to create a habit, and repeat it even if it's small. Now I'm remembering. One very nice advice as well, when we are talking about creating a habit, it is that it is better to focusing on the repetition than it is to be focused on the amount of days that passed or the length of the thing that you are doing or the long video. So if you can do the habit every day, but only by 10 minutes, comparing to one a week, but 2 or 3 hours, do it every day, but 10 hours. When creating the habit, we preferentially want to repeat rather than doing it less and longer times. Okay, so repeat more than you put in length. Do more repetitions than length of it. So it doesn't matter the days that pass when you create a habit, it matters the repetition. You can make one time in the morning and another time at the end of the night. That counts as 2 repetitions. Okay? And that's more if you do that for 2 days, for example, one time in the morning and one time in the night at day 1, and then one time in the morning and one time at night the next day. That will count a lot more than 3 days of just doing one time per day. Okay, so 2 days doing 4 repetitions counts more than 3 days doing only 1 repetition. Have that in mind while you create a habit. Thank you so much. My name is John R. Silva, and I am becoming an intellectual, I hope. And I hope with my content I can educate you and change the way you think about the world. Thank you so much. Good luck. Improve your quality of life with my weekly lectures. I do other services as well. If you are interested, links on the description. Thank you so much.